All right, hello, stream.
Hello. Hi, I'm RJ. I am the DM, and this is Halgia D&D. Welcome to this adventure for 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, heavily modified with homebrew content in a homebrew world with some weird stuff and a crafting system that will probably be heavily used in this episode, depending on party TPK or not.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for joining in on our shenanigans. And if you feel that you like us even a little bit, please follow the stream. And if you have the means and wish to do so, go ahead and subscribe. It's just a very pleasant thing to do. So, may I ask, in this party that we have in front of us, who are you?
I'm Louis, TPK extraordinaire, as will be shown in this episode, and I play the human Rune Knight fighter, Ryan.
Hi, I am Faye. I play Faye. She is a half-elf warlock sorcerer who likes mind magic, which is not at all going to be important in this session.
Hi guys, I'm Jackie. I play Mickey. She's an ASMR warlock. She's pretty cool. Also, if you guys want, you could say in the chat. RJ promised that he'd buy me a hat today, and I have the website for it. So just make sure that you guys spam like RJ. Don't forget to buy Jackie that hat. I appreciate that. Thank you.
If anyone wants to start a GoFundMe for Jackie's hat, if 170 people want to donate $1, I will buy her the hat with the GoFundMe.
What?
Or if she gives me $1 a day for the next 170 days, I will buy her the hat.
How about rather than GoFundMe, is there a Go Fuck Off website for $170? Good lord.
It's a really nice hat.
I'll buy you the hat if you buy me a pair of boots.
I'll think about it.
Okay.
I'm Kira, and I play Hush, the Tabaxi arcane trickster rogue. This is also Pancake, casual insurrectionist. It's gonna be a great day.
And I am Micah. I play Quinn, the Eladrin Phantom Rogue, who apparently has an affinity for birds, because there's one screaming in the background that you may hear.
These Rylaendur desert birds.
There are desert birds in
desert
Rylaendur.
birds, man. Yeah.
And canonically,
I'm probably gonna close the door so you won't hear him as much.
Canonically, they are just super attracted to Quinn. They just like keep flying around her head and like surprising her, like running into her as she's walking down the street. It's very hard being Quinn in Birdland here.
I mean, it's just awful hanging around with Quinn.
It's becoming more and more Hitchcock level horror as Quinn goes through this this city deeper. So, let's talk about what happened last time. Kira, or am I doing it?
I got it.
Okay.
Alright. So, we all watch as the sun ascends on the horizon, discussing the traditions we carried from home. We traveled for a day, arriving back at the mesa where we had buried some mindless people. Faye warns us to be careful, since the last time we dealt with these, she had nearly turned to stone. Quinn had nearly turned to stone. Miki sticks to her promise of saving these people, and Faye molds the earth away to enter the cave. Candles flicker, distant hollow groans, and a single statue of Ikarn, of the threshold keeper, welcomes us inside. Although this statue doesn't quite resemble his image. We cleverly bypass the traps situated on the floor by blocking some gas vents with ball bearings, and Miki and Hush discuss whether or not there was ever such a thing as a happy cult. Miki recalls living legends, a group of extraordinary confidence and bewildering Satanists. After Hush picks up an effigy with her mage hand against Ryan's better judgment, we can hear stone grinding on stone, and we encounter two gargoyles, as well as a chanting mummy, demanding our obedience to their leader, Nalarim Pisulke. I think I got it. As Quinn vaults into action and Faye incinerates the bugs bursting from the mummy, Mickey pelts the gargoyles with needles of ice. We decide to cut our losses here and set back out toward the desert. Some days later, we see droves of cabs and caravans beelining out of Rylaendur. Reardon of the Brass Tracks Tavern pulls up on a cab and brings us back to the city, where an ancient brass dragon is shouting in a draconic language old enough to rival the stars. It shouts about how no flowers remain and who remembers his order. He addresses Ryan as Copperman Brash and asks where Andrew is. Bearing down on Ryan, his pike of unknown history, nostrils fuming with dominion and overwhelming might, Ryan locks his gaze with the creature, with few words to offer to cool his fury.
As this brass dragon, Rylaendur, shouts down upon you, Copperman Brash, where is Andrea? You are frozen in the moment. And you have a few seconds to conjure up what to say next. And while those seconds pass by, a colorful bird flies across the way, smashes into your shoulders, Quinn, and then Pancake jumps off the ground and tackles the bird and starts punching the bird in the face. And as this little animal encounter is happening, finally the bird wriggles free of Pancake's grasp, and he just holds up a fist and shakes at it, and then climbs back up onto your shoulders. And Ryan, what are you doing?
I needed that comedic.
Oh.
I'll look up. I'll say, I've never gone by Copperman Brush. Fear you might think of me being someone else. However, if Andrea is who you are looking for, I haven't seen her in 21 years. She's, from what I can tell, in the Feywild. I do not know any more else, I'm afraid.
What is your position? Oh, jeez. My stupid thing is overheating.
Oh no.
I will turn to my right. I'll just look at Barkeep. I'll say, I'm but a new entry. Low down, but I was sent off on a mission to some caves in the north. I've just got back.
What is your relationship with the one I spoke of? And why do you have Brash's weapon? Are you an imposter?
I'm not an imposter. I'm her son.
The dragon relaxes its posture for a moment.
As for why I have the weapon, I always thought it was a family heirloom. I was given it as a young man. Brash is not a name I recognize.
If you are her son, why hasn't she raised you? Why have you not been there for 21 years? It is not in her nature, nor of the code, for her to abandon a child.
There's deep breaths coming out. She did not go to the Feywild by choice. What I was told, she was kidnapped. I was helped to escape at a young age. The person who kidnapped her wanted me dead. Or alive, I don't know. He was not a good person. And it was safer for me to not be. This is what I was told when we left. Afraid was but a child at the time, so my knowledge of the exact situation is perhaps not as well formed as you would hope.
The dragon turns away from you, its huge head looking back over the city as people are still like fleeing, but most of the scene has been cleared, and just shouts and roars, shaking the buildings around you.
Is there no one else? Is there no one remaining from my flock?
His cries and pleas, shouting, are met with silence from the rest of the city. And he looks over at you and looks down upon your strong but short form.
If it is only you, you're going to have to find her. Bring her back.
I'd want nothing.
Then we have the same goal. What is your real name?
Real name or the name I've gone by? Let's
Your
go with Ryan. My first name is Ryan.
Right, first names are okay. We're only on a first name basis right now. I don't need to know your whole life story.
That's great to me. I will. Yeah, let's go with Ryan.
And he kind of like nods his head, taking a bit of a more relaxed posture and tone towards you.
The unfortunate thing is that if she and possibly Brash have entered the Feywild, I cannot follow. There are magics there that keep those like me vulnerable. And I'm afraid I'm in a bit of a what do you call a reserved vinegar cucumber?
Pickle.
Yes. That is
They're
what
very,
you
very tasty.
mortal
Hate to be in
folks
one of
call
them.
it.
Ryan, what was that word that you just said? I didn't catch it.
Pickle. Is that the one you're looking for?
Yeah, okay. God, my vocabulary is so bad.
We'll get there. It's fine.
I
Your
haven't studied
draconic
in a
is
while.
draconic needs a bit of practice. It's fine.
Was
You
that
can
part said in
understand.
common?
Yeah, that was said in common.
Okay.
So all the
Oh,
context that the rest of the party has is
Yeah,
just
all
a
we got was
conversation
pickle?
over
Over
pickles.
pickles. Yes.
Yeah, lots of growling,
It
and then
very-
someone goes, pickles.
Yeah. Very intentionally left just that in common.
Ryan, do you know if this dragon a date or something?
No, it's fine. Don't worry. It's all under control.
Pancake
Why-
punches
Sounds very under
Hush.
control.
Pancake punches you in the face and then looks up at you with this like he's like pointing in your face, like shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. But it's just squeaking at you. Just yum, 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 yum.
Tired of your attitude, Pancake.
Pancake, read the room.
Do you know where
Seriously.
Brash is? The person who owns that bike.
I am afraid not. To be completely honest with you, the first time I heard his name was 5 minutes ago.
I think you might need his help. I can provide you with a means to find him, but it will require me to remove the enchantment that has prolonged my life for so long. Which means that I will be unable to go on unless it is returned to me.
Let's not be hasty on lowering your life expectancy. I need to get a little stronger to be dealing with the person who has my mother. Rest assured that I am fully committed to getting.
What year did you say it was? Did I say it was? My memory slips.
Is it 1151?
1128.
1128.
1128.
My form will last a long time. But for you, the haste of a year is upon everyone. Everyone that lives here. So, find Brash. Find your mother, Ryan. You are the only one left.
And he kneels down on his front feet, lowers his head, and behind on the crest of his spine, you can see this little, like, of all the brass scales, you can see this little tiny copper object. And as he leans down, he takes a big exhale. You can see the brass begin to tarnish and spoil as all of the scales start to almost age super rapidly right before your eyes. And as they reach the tip of his spine, the copper object falls off, hits the back of his head, falls to the ground. And now before you stands an untalking, unmoving, petrified statue of an ancient brass dragon and a little copper object laying on the ground.
I did not expect him to petrify himself.
I'm gonna guess by the tone in that conversation that he asked you to do something, huh?
Yeah, I need to find someone.
And I'll put a arm, friendly over Ryan's shoulder and say, "Hey, welcome to the club of a really big, old, strong thing asking you to do it favors."
I'll go and pick up the copper thing that's on the.
Okay, roll for investigation. As you just pick up the object and look at it.
Natural one.
Natural one. It's just like this round, like disc-shaped piece of copper. It's got this like foggy piece of glass over the top. It's hard to tell what it is.
Can I pull out the coin that I've got
Mhm.
and compare the two?
They are incomparable.
I will look at you later. And I'll turn to the guy who initiated me. Just go, I think that went about as badly as I could have imagined it. Gone, except for us all still being alive.
Yes, I heard the whole thing. Why? Who are you? Why? I had suspicions about that pike being important, but this shepherd of the desert, this patron of our city, has just bowed and petrified itself. We are unprotected here, and what is going on?
We have a year. 1 year. I think he'll be fine.
What the hell's going to happen in a year?
I hear you heard everything.
I did. I figured
don't
you'd
know.
have more context for this than I do. Do you?
No.
The rest of us didn't hear, though, and I'm quite curious myself. What exactly is going on here?
Yeah.
Someone's missing. that was apparently important to this, where the city gets its name from this dragon that we were talking to.
Right. Cool.
Apparently someone important to him isn't here. Important to me as well. So we have a year to find her.
Or what?
You know, he didn't say. So imagine the worst.
He kind of didn't really think this out either. I mean, he's kind of in the way of the city, just right here in the center. And also, what if someone just breaks the statue?
I think it's going to be a bit harder to break that statue than you think.
Yeah, true.
He wakes up for 1 second out of his petrification. Give it a try. And then goes back to being petrified.
You heard him, Faye. I mean, look how badly you lost to me in that arm wrestle. The only person who could do a dent to him is Mickey.
So the clues in his panicked shouting for the whole term over 1 year and are you part of my order? Where is this person? Where's this other person? You must be the only one left. What he was shouting when you got into the city in last week's episode. Awake, you now, children of Rylaendur. Can you not remember? Can you not rise? Where is my order? Where are the protectors? Sun's change 1128. Can you not remember? Serenity is broken, enthralled return to Halgia, and no singing flowers remain. I cannot feel them. Who of you remembers my orders?
Was he yelling that in Common or Draconic?
That was
Draconic.
in Ancient Draconic that
So
Ryan can understand,
clue.
and Mickey can make out in Broken Draconic.
We got no fucking clue. Cheers.
I mean, I'll relay what he said, what he was shouting.
You said no singing flowers remain was also one of the
Yeah.
things he said.
I do
That
not
sounds important.
think that is related to what we went to do.
Really?
Because
Are you
there
sure
were
about
there
that?
were distinctly flowers remaining. We did not take all of them.
I mean, that is a very fair point.
Right.
There were
And
a
those
lot
flowers
did not
in
sing.
that dungeon did not sing.
Singing flowers, on the other hand, I have no idea about. The order might have contained brash, if that's who this pike belonged to. I mean, this is all nonsense to me. I think
One
we've got
thing
some
that-
reading to do.
One thing that I'll give you guys, you know what? Give a group history check as you're discussing this.
Thank you.
Ooh.
Seven.
Sailors
Nothing.
love stories. I got a
18.
16.
16, 4, 7. I hush and Quinn, I didn't hear your rolls.
14.
Okay.
18.
18. Being two of the people that were most interested and most active in exploring the ruins of the Veins of Ikarn, where you just came from, you remember a consistency that there was a room in the Veins of Ikarn that referred to the guardians of the garden keeping out the enthralled, making sure they didn't come in.
Ooh.
It specifically mentioned that as an entity, and Rylaendur mentioned the same word, at least.
Now, I'll relay that, and I'll then go off on that and be like, and then that cult that we ran into, all about the obey. That sounds
Right.
pretty enthralling to me.
Yeah, whoever those guys were definitely acting in opposition to whatever Rylaendur, I think that's his name?
Yeah, that's his name.
Yeah, so we can sort of infer that the cult that we ran into is definitely not what Rylaendur is hoping to have. And if that whole garden thing is related to this whole situation, I hate to say it, but there's a lot of history in that cavern. Like a ton of it. And it's all, there were several different statues, and I'm imagining that they're just several different pieces of different historical pieces here that are involved with either Rylai or probably all other places that are in this continent. I'm not entirely sure, but this is pretty expansive. I'm gonna have to look into this one.
I want to know everything about Copperman Brash.
Was he famous? I mean,
I have
did
no
you know about him
idea.
before today?
No.
I'm assuming in a city like this, there's got to be a library somewhere.
But if this is an order, and it seems like they're trying to be somewhat secretive, I'll turn again to. What's his name? I'm dumb.
Bearden.
Notes.
Was it a cat guy?
The bartender's
No,
name?
it was the bartender.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mr.
Bearden.
Reardon.
Yeah, I'm standing right here.
Sorry, mind blank. Big day.
Yeah, I've been listening and nobody's involving me in the conversation. So
Brash.
I brought you guys back here. So
Tell me about Brash.
I have no idea who Brash is.
Okay,
But
that was what I feared.
Maybe we should go somewhere a little more. I'll lock down the tavern for a few hours.
Okay.
If you want, if it doesn't take a few hours, feel free to come and go as you please. But you don't need to stay. You can talk as long as you want. And then later tonight, I'll open back up for business, and hopefully people will be coming back. And as he says that, you hear from like a few hundred feet behind you, just the gate just creak open, just this a little bit. And one like very scared looking person peeks their head through and shouts, "Seems quieter in here. Is it safe to come back?"
I'll shout back. Yes. It's fine. You weren't ever in danger, don't worry, but I can imagine seeing a fucking huge dragon scares you. Don't worry.
I will use
it's all okay.
Sorry,
I will use thaumaturgy to yell out, "The dragon's a really cool statue. Come check it out."
Please don't touch. Please don't touch the statue.
I think he just wanted a pickle.
Mickey will do paintings of you riding the dragon for 1 gold each.
Please do not get on the dragon.
I'm going to need you both to roll opposed persuasion checks.
Oh yeah, this is going to go well. -1 versus +4.
That's a nat 20, baby.
Are you kidding me?
How about we look at a 26?
To your rage and dismay, Ryan, people just start funneling past you, and like they start forming a line. Like one orderly person is like, "No, let's line up this way," and then we can board from his tail. And then who's drawing the pictures? Who's drawing us on the back of the dragon? Okay, 1 gold. Do you want me to collect the payments for you? Maybe I could take like a 5% cut.
No, I got it. Thank you, though.
All right. You're gonna put a hat down.
And I hit it on the ground, and I double in size, and I say, "Do not get on the dragon."
Roll intimidation with advantage, please.
That's so cool.
I'm so sorry.
19.
19. The person there's like one dude sitting on top of the dragon with his little daughter, and he just throws his hands up. He goes, "All right, man. All right. No need to get hostile. That's my kid. That's my kid up there."
Is it the dad and the daughter who camped out at Ryan's house in the rain?
It's not the same one.
Oh.
It's like, all right, man.
Sorry, I just had to diffuse the situation.
Hang on. My pen stopped working. Let me get another one. Ugh.
I'll just look at Mickey.
Stay still.
I'll just look
I
down
got
at
it.
Mickey.
Hang on.
Roll with your tools with disadvantage because you're rushing through this, Mickey.
It's low. It's like a 10.
Oh, that's not that bad. You do a pretty good like caricature art of the statue dragon with this guy and his daughter on it, but they're the only ones that get one. So realizing the rarity of what just happened, even though the painting wasn't that like spectacular, they're still gonna give you a rarity price for it and give you 5 gold.
Thank you. That's so kind.
As I just at the end, I've dropped down in size. I'll say, you can get pictures in front. Just please don't touch the dragon. Just don't. Please just don't touch the dragon.
One guy walks up and like puts his hand on your shoulder. It's like this big Goliath man, and he's like, "I appreciate your willingness to compromise. It's very kind of you."
Capitalism.
All right, who's next,
I was just
everyone?
gonna,
This is the free market, and as I say that, I'll walk and I'll pat Mickey on the head and I'll say, "You do a good job. I swear to God, if anyone gets on the dragon, Eldritch blast them off," and I'll walk off.
All right.
Okay.
Mr. Reardon's like, "So you want to go to the tavern now?"
Yes, let's go tavern
Oh,
now.
okay, all right. Anyone else that wants to come from only your group, not all these tourists? Let's go.
I'll
I'll
tag
be
along.
going as well.
yeah.
I'm gonna stay and make some money. Shit.
Yeah.
All right. So here's how we're going to work this. However long it takes the conversation with the rest of the party in the tavern, you will have one. How much time do you want to spend on each piece?
I'll give it it'll just be like a rough sketch, so probably like 5 minutes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
5 minutes per sketch. So for as long as they take in there, you get to do a sketch every 5 minutes, and you're just going to roll one check with advantage for this entire sequence, and that'll
Wonderful.
determine how much you get paid.
Income.
Yeah, you got a nice little source of income while they just go
This is how
talk. Basically.
this is how I make my income. Like I just call people over. I'm like, who wants a picture? And these suckers always line up. I don't know why.
There
It's great
are,
business.
you think, more people that want. They've gone from scared to really excited, and you have more people that want a picture than you can actually do today. So you'll have an endless source of work.
Wonderful.
And I'll turn to Ryan as we walk off, and I'll be like, "Look at that situation handled. No one's scared anymore."
As we're walking, can Hush break off from the party for just a little bit?
Yeah, so you're not going to the tavern?
She'll go eventually. She'll meet up with you guys. It's more so like just looking along the way. Taking like a detour, essentially, if that makes sense.
Okay.
We're going to find the Rylaendur site.
You're going to go find the insight?
Rather, I want to know where they've been. Their entire city just left in droves. Where the hell were they?
How's Trovy doing, by the way, too?
No, patrol me!
So is Hush going on secret stealth mission through this sequence?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to start with the conversation with Mr. Reardon in the tavern. He gets you all back in the cab. He's like, well, this is the one from my tavern, so we've got to drive it back inside. Could you get the giant door on the side that I can drive this thing through? And is asking you essentially just to open the door.
Yep, will do.
All right, and you guys get out, open the door, and he drives this thing back in. He shuts it, locks it with this little like swivel lock, and then casts a little spell to keep it locked, and then does the same thing to the front door. There's no patrons inside. There's no staff inside. It's just him and you all and whatever's in here. You know what? Let's go ahead and put you back in there, because there is a... I thought I had a map of it, right?
Yes, I
Or
think
did
you
we
did.
theatre
Think
the minder?
so.
No, I had a map of it.
I thought
No,
Maybe
yeah,
I-
thought
I
you
definitely,
had him.
I definitely remember you having a map because I remember seeing the cabs in the corner.
You know what? It's not on Roll20.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
It was before we switched to Roll20.
Mm.
So we'll just deal without it. So He says, I don't think I have any bookings yet for the evening, so there's no guests staying upstairs. Now, maybe we could talk a little bit about this order.
I think that would be pretty useful. Given I just bullshitted my way through a conversation claiming I was a part of it to an ancient brass dragon. So
All
let's
right.
hear what I'm a part of now.
First,
Yes! Not the one who made the worst bullshit decision.
Yeah, well, the difference between your bullshit decision and my bullshit decision was your bullshit decision did not come with the fear of us all being killed by a massive dragon.
Fair point.
so before we get really going on this, I need to know this is a safe space and what your boundaries are. So, you two, you and me, Ryan, we're gonna talk. And whatever happens, happens. But you two, what are your views on religion besides what the law demands? I want to know where you're from, what it's like there, and what your personal, deep in your heart outlook on it is. You first, and points to Faye.
Shit, buy me dinner first. Well,
Okay, later I'll buy you dinner at my tavern where we make dinner.
well, I'm from Aren. Religion is kind of fine there. I have my own personal god who has granted me powers, and if that means I'm about to get killed, I'm about to get killed.
Is your god in opposition to any other gods?
I don't actually know. My god doesn't like to be specific. It's kind of annoying, but I mean, I don't. My god's the god of the water, the sea. So I don't know. I don't think that really interacts with the desert that often. But
Okay, all right. I believe you. Actually, do I believe you? Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Let me get another d20. Oh, 21.
21. All right. Yeah, that checks out. I believe you. You've been rumored to do some weird things involving, talking to yourself and wondering about water. Your story checks out. You don't say much. Where are you from?
Ryan will look
I'm not
over
from
very
around.
interested.
I know. So will I. I'm like,
Yeah, Quinn?
Not
Where you-
from
where you
around
from?
here, I can tell you that much, but religion isn't really my thing. I mean, it's not a matter of believing or not. Clearly, the gods do exist. They've made themselves known plenty of times, but they leave me well enough
not
alone, and I leave them alone.
not here in Halgia. So you're gonna have to speak up, lady.
Well, in Eastern Thrall, they're a little bit more common in dipping their hands into matters on the material plane. But even our friend Faye here, she's, as she said, with her god. I've seen proof of that.
Eastern Thrall. Not even sure where that is.
North. Very north.
Insight check.
Go ahead and
Oh
roll
yeah.
it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Insight.
Oh, I
check.
rolled so bad. This is terrible. That's a 13.
That's a 5, baby.
You're not sure what an Eastern Thrall is.
I rolled a 5. I'm not sure what
Even
north
if you
is.
roll.
All right, you can roll persuasion with advantage too.
Oh no. They're both the same thing. What's my persuasion? Not good. Oh, okay, that's actually not bad. 12. I rolled two
12 is-
eights.
12 is okay.
Okay.
Are you wearing anything Eastern Thrall related on your body? Like, is there anything on your
I
clothing?
only have the crest on the pauldron.
Okay. He looks at the crest and he points and he says, "Is that from where you come from.
In a way, but it's not tied to any gods, that's for sure.
Well, long as it's tied to a place that's not Halgian, that I can recognize. Your story checks out too. So,
What about you?
me, I'm born and raised in Rylaendur. I'm a townie.
Well, what are your stances on religion?
That's why I was asking. So, and he looks around all paranoid. He goes, I believe that there are gods. I believe that they haven't shown themselves in a long time. Lest you have a god that wants to show themselves and is talking to you, then good on you. But I've always been really curious about divinity and the ancient ways and history. And history seems to omit a lot of the godly things that should be included in history. I can feel that there is a presence beyond us. I wouldn't dare say it in public. Don't want to be arrested, don't want to have my business shut down and be caused to become a pariah. But I think that they're out there. And I specifically have maybe dabbled a little bit beyond my reach. And I found a couple of things. First, Rylaendur is not the greatest of what a dragon can be. I've heard of dragon gods of good and evil, of myth and legend, and I've heard two names come across my ears that I just can't forget. Those are Bahamut and Tiamat. And these seem to be the dichotomy over the godship of dragons. This is all very confusing for me. Trying to wrap my head around something I feel that I can't understand fully. The way I found it was by visiting a civilization of dwarves in the mountain range to our northeast and learning that maybe they have a little place where worship is free and unjudged, unpunished, and actually celebrated. This is what I think I remember them calling the Colquests.
Has
And I
that
think
word
that
ever been mentioned out loud?
Yeah.
if there's an order of
We have
something
heard.
bigger than ourselves, then maybe that place is a good place to start.
This is a very meta question. Would I know the name of the ring? Would Ryan know the name of the ring that he wears? Or would he just know it's a ring?
It was found with a person who had a letter referring to the Colquests.
Mhm. Yeah, we have a note mentioning that, so we have.
Yeah.
Okay, so we
And
have
they've had
actually
this
seen that
ring.
word. Okay, good.
Mhm.
So I'll bring that up. I'll be like, Cold Quest. We've seen that before.
Yeah. It's when I got the ring. This ring. Well,
Mhm.
show it the ring. I was planning on making some alterations to it, but maybe it's best to.
Yeah, that seems like the symbols that some of the dwarfs wear.
Huh.
It
Colquests,
was
as
dwarves, I
they've
believe, that we found that note on.
likely. It's not only dwarves that live and go there, but mostly. That's why you don't see many dwarves throughout the city. They're religious folk a lot of the time, at least the ones that I've met, and they don't trust their own lack of discretion. when in public, facing punishment for religious practice. If there's a place that keeps history based on the secret followers of an ancient dragon and perhaps a dragon god, then maybe the dwarves of the Colquest have some of that information.
Guess that's our starting point. I
Yeah,
don't
now,
imagine we'll find much in the ways of books here about gods. That's not going to be allowed.
I mean, if we do, all the books will probably just say gods are dumb and stinky.
Yeah, there is a lot of ridicule and satire in the literature referring to gods. There are religion sections, but they're mostly ridiculing the ridiculousness of those who celebrate. Like, look how crazy this idea is, and these are the people that would actually believe this. Ha 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 ha.
So you think the order that Rylaendur was talking about is the Colquest? It's not what we have here.
I don't know, but I think if you're going to look for information based on this order he was referring to, I think that perhaps a less science-y library would get you some greater answers.
I think I agree. Well, we don't have endless time.
You don't have no time either. If you need
This
to
is
prepare and do stuff, it's probably
A year's not bad, you know?
a year is a lot of time.
This is true. This is true.
So remember, like from a meta DM standpoint, don't feel like you have to rush a lot of these quests in lieu of other things you want to do.
Wow, that's a very insightful comment to be making, Mr. Reardon.
See? Gods, I don't know where that came from. It just like spoke through me.
Oh. Well, you make a very salient point, especially on the preparation I've got. In fact, you seem like a fairly man of engineering as well. You work those carts pretty. Been trying to fix this, and I'll bring out the invention I have, the conjuration one.
Okay.
I'll come and get my notebook and flip through to the ring that I was planning to make for it. See, I'm trying to mount this. Needs to be a little smaller. Been trying to mount it. I was gonna mount it on the signet ring that I have, but I feel that may be best to leave unscathed. So I'll pick out another ring. Could mount it on here. What's your view on the notes that I've made? Is there anything to be improved? Do you
So you're trying to mount it on here, but you need a little bit of a smaller mounting bracket?
I think I need to make things smaller to go onto the bracket that's there at the moment.
I think you need to make things smaller. Let me see. You could learn, or if you know somebody who knows a reduce spell, or at least similar magic that can slightly reduce the size of something.
What if you just, I mean, everything you're carrying grows with you. So what if you just grow big and work on it when you're big and then it shrinks down?
I only have a minute of that.
Yeah.
It's not quite enough time. But just the mounting purpose, it might be the worst idea.
Yeah, I mean, you might be able to mount it in 1 minute if you had enough.
Yeah,
Depending on how you're mounting it, I mean, you could use leather to strap it together, or you could try to weld the metals together, in which case you just need a source of really hot coal and heat the metal before you grow, and then
thanks to that ring you've got, We might be able to sort something out without the need of coal. But this is a good point. I will consider that. I've got the means at home to consider this. I just wanted a second. I need to
Perfect.
finish off the invention anyway. It's almost there. A little bit more work to do.
Excellent.
Supposed to go get a flower. That's what we were supposed to do. Just go get a flower.
It's all a bit spiraled from there. Not
Just a flower.
the same sort of flower that Rylaendur
There
was going on about.
Many magic flowers in this world, and none of them should be taken lightly.
Well, you know,
Said Gandalf.
Yeah, it almost cost us all our life. So I feel like a price was paid.
Speaking of which, we have someone else we need to drop in on
This is a very
sooner rather than later.
very good point.
I would like to get paid.
Yes, we should have all of us there, though.
Yeah.
And I think it's at this point that he realizes, fucking cat, where's she gone? We know where Mickey is.
I don't know.
Yeah, Hush was like walking with you guys on your way here, and like now your memory is coming back to you that she was not involved in anything you guys just did.
Oh, we've got some explaining to do. Well, I guess we go find Mickey and go see if Rista's still around.
I don't think Arista was the type to run.
Yeah, I don't think she'd have been scared of that.
Nah. But yeah, let's go see how much money Mickey made.
All right, so you all leave the Brass Tracks Tavern. He's like, well, come back for dinner later, maybe performances, I don't know. It'd be nice if you all showed up to spend gold every once in a while. Yeah, thanks.
We'll be back, don't worry. Thanks for the help. It's been an enlightening day.
And
hey,
as I
confidentiality in this room. I don't want to get my business shut down and get arrested.
We're not even here, don't worry.
As I'm going to perform a test, and as we leave, I'm going to like turn around and wave at him, and telepathically, I'm going to say, "Thank you for believing in me."
He just stares at you for a moment. You hear a telepathic, "You're welcome," as he just pours himself, like making eye contact with you and pouring himself a shot of whiskey. Over pours it by a little bit, and it goes on his hand, and he just drinks it.
Perfect.
Mickey, I'm going to say that conversation took about 45 minutes. So why don't you roll a check with advantage for your painter's tools?
Proficiency plus dexterity, right?
Yep.
Sick. Ooh, that's a natural 18. That's pretty good there. 23.
23. So you get 9 times 15 gold.
135.
What? I'm sorry, what?
You've been paid 135 gold for your renditions.
Starving artist, where?
How much I have total?
That's like...
This is what they're paying for, by the way.
It's like all these like cult classic nerds now that just think your representation is as cheesy as it is. It's like
it's
really, really fun.
Absolute canon.
It's like one of those. It's like Chopped or something. Where it's like, well, what I've got here is a deconstructed painting of Rylaendur.
Sort of an abstract take on.
All right, so the 4 of you are together, and during this time, what is your first stop, Hush?
All right. So, first stop. I have to think about it. But, let's go see the trophy first.
All right, you scale up the back of the tower. I am going to have you roll a stealth check with advantage just to make sure you're not seen. But you've been through these routes before, and with your background feature, it's pretty easy to do.
27.
27. You stealth up and climb up, open the window, and you can see in there. There's actually like this nice like tent set up. Like it looks like Petrovi's been like out in the town like collecting things, and he like pokes his head out. He's like, "Who's there? Who is it?"
It's just me. I missed you. How are you doing?
You're back. Welcome back. And you come in the window, and you can see Petrovi is there. He is not alone.
Not alone?
Not alone. There is another figure sitting in a shadowy corner that steps forward a little bit, and you can see the outline of a massively built furbolg that steps forward.
Does she recognize this verbal?
Oh yeah, it's the Bugmonger, N.O. Prickies. And he just holds up his hand. Hey.
Hey.
I
doing all right?
I know you, we didn't have as good a conversation as I was hoping last time, but you inspired me to maybe carouse some of my courage. And I also met your friend Petrovi here, and together we did a little bit of research. But reunions first. And Petrovi just gives you a hug, his like long doppelganger arms just wrapping around you. He's like, "Oh, let me change into something a little more palatable." And he basically said, you know, "Do you want me to be a doppelganger form, or would you like me to change into somebody that's more like you?"
Petrovi, I like you as you are. Whatever form is most comfortable for you, you do that.
Oh, that's why I love you, Hush.
She's just like, she wants to be accepting this, but she's a little prickly about it. She loves it, just won't admit it. It's
He
like,
puts you
all right,
down.
all right, all right.
You want to come in? You want to come into the tent fort?
After I get some business figured out. I have a lot of catching up to do since it's been, what, a few weeks?
Yeah, it's been like 2.5, 3 weeks now. 3 weeks about.
Yeah. I have some work to do. After, though, we can go ahead and get inside the tent, the tent. But, what's been going on since we've been gone?
Well, I asked Petrovi here for his help, and I've gathered a bit of a list. I found some of them. As in, I know where they are.
The list.
He hands over the list. Do you want me to read this out loud, like for the other characters to hear?
As in, like, the players presently here?
Yeah.
You know what? Sure. Let's do it.
All right. So it's kind of like roughly sketched, and it's written in rough thieves' cant, in a way where if this list was found, it couldn't really be deciphered by anyone. Oh my god, you guys are crazy. And it says peekaboo at the top. And then it has a list of 9 names. And it says first, the informant. And there's a question mark next to it, like still a blank. Like he said he found some of them. He says the tender one. And then next to it, there's just a picture of a boot on fire, leading you to believe that she has joined with the hot steppers. The recipe memorizer. Servant in Drabel is what it says in Thieves' Camp. The hopeless romantic. And there's a picture of a boot on fire. The empath. There's a question mark next to it. I can send this to you as well, but
Yes, please.
the fashionable. And there's just the word Colquest next to it. The handy, and there's a question mark. The bugmonger, standing right here, and the leader, probably reading this open-jawed, is what it says at the bottom.
I don't know what you did to find out as much as you have so far, but I give you props, I know. I take back everything I said about you. This was extraordinarily helpful.
He sits on the floor, and even his sitting form stands like up to your chest with his head, and he just goes cross-legged and he says, I did what I thought my leader would do. And then puts his head down.
She kind of like picks him up by the chin and says, no, we don't bow heads here. You know this already. Thank
You
you.
Aragorned him.
You bow to no one, my friends.
And he stands up next to you and he goes, yeah, that's true. That's what that bitch would do, right? Did I say it too loud? Did I say that too loud?
Not enough, but that'll do.
Anyway, do you have any bugs I can eat? I'm really, really hungry. They don't sell a whole lot of bugs in this part of the world.
You know, they really don't, but if we take a couple trips outside the city, we might be able to find you some. As a prize, essentially.
Tell me when you're going, and I would love to eat some worms. And bugs.
I think we can arrange that.
And spiders.
Actually, I have a question for you too, actually. Would you be against going out on a late night stroll with me?
I thought you'd never ask. Tonight, you mean?
Preferably.
You got it. I'm going to stay in our tent fort because I like this place a lot, and Petrovi's kind of awesome. You see him blush a little bit as he says that. And
It's been great.
we got a good thing here. Although, we're kind of squatters, aren't we? What happens if the owner of this tower comes back?
If they do, you let me know. We'll make things work.
I trust you. Petrovi says, and I trust you too. You've gotten me out of jams already. And thank you. Also, I got you this. And he goes into the tent fort and comes back and just hands you a box of cookies. He goes, I've been going out for them every day. And they're from Sindra and Creases. But a really nicely wrapped like gift box of cookies, like you would give to somebody like as a beautiful gift.
I know, I am speechless. It's very kind of you. Very generous too. Thank you.
They put their arms over each other, and in synchrony they just say, we split the cost.
Oh my goodness. Well, if you guys split the cost, I can split the share too. So we can each take one because I am starving, and then we can go ahead and take a walk outside for a little while. Not for too long though. I do need to meet up with the others. Something weird happened today. I don't think you guys missed the whole dragon situation in the middle of town.
Oh, we heard the roaring. We were just sitting up here being as quiet as possible, like usual, because maybe if we were very quiet, the dragon wouldn't know we're here.
Yeah, that's true. But what really is grinding my gears a little bit is the fact that doesn't Rylaendur have leaders?
Yes, the Riley Insight, says Petrovi. They have been quite inactive, as far as I've seen. I've been doing a lot of traveling in other people's skin, and they haven't been coming out very much.
When's the last place you seen them?
I've heard that I have not seen them, but I've heard that the last place that they've really been active was during the Celestium event, where those people died and all the stuff happened, and the moon was very big, and ever since then they've been spending most of their time in their mansions. Separate.
Of course they are. Shouldn't be surprised by things like this anymore. Alright, if that's how they want to play it, let's see how the rest of Rylaendur feels about their inactivity when things really could have gone terrible with that dragon. We don't know. What if we weren't here? We've been gone for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know. But whatever you choose to do, you know that we will have your back. Eno says yes. And soon, when we find them, or you find them, or whoever finds them, sways them back to our side, many others will have our back as well. Many old friends.
I agree. But before anything else, let's take a bite. She takes one of the cookies from the very fine box and holds one out to them and kind of like offers it
So
as a
everyone
cheers
has a
situation.
cookie. Everyone cheers
Yup.
with a cookie, and just
Yup.
here, and then eats the cookie.
Cookie, actually.
Eno looks a little bit disappointed because he specifically asked for cookies that were made with bugs, and they did not make cookies with bugs at Cinder and Kreetz's, like they might in Narrow Shadow.
Huh, you know what? This place is really
They
old.
have
I'm
there's
being
health
really surprised.
standards.
They have posh
Rules,
Eastern
rules,
Crawl
rules.
level standards. Is that all you'd like to
Actually,
do
I know.
here? What's up?
Um,
I mean, what's up?
This place is fairly old. I'm surprised you haven't like dug around here for bugs.
It's the desert. There's mostly scorpions, and the scorpions, they kind of hurt to eat a lot. The DM of this game has actually eaten a scorpion, and it was not very pleasant. So he knows
I
that that's
believe
not
it.
what Eno would do.
Alright, well, if that's the case, we'll have to make things work. We'll find you some bugs. But I've been traveling for 3 weeks. We'll take a walk out soon. I do want to meet up with the gang first, though. So I'll leave, come back, and we'll work something out.
Come get me when you are ready. We're having a good time in here. Mostly playing cards, chess, telling funny stories. Just, we'll be here.
Alrighty, you guys take care. Oh, how's Snaggletooth?
Oh, Snaggletooth just comes. He just whistles, and Snaggletooth comes out and just sits on the ground.
That's a good boy. Thank you for keeping the trophy company this entire time.
It looks up
I'm
at
ready
you
to go.
and just.
She kind of like tosses him a crumb of cookie crumb.
Pancake punches you because you didn't give him one.
Here!
He, like, actually doesn't stop punching you until you hand one over.
Peace offering. Stop hitting me, please.
Grabs the cookie and then rushes into a corner by himself and eats the cookie. And then just dives out the window because he's sure you're leaving.
Yep, alright. Before he runs off, I gotta go. Bye!
For those wondering, Pancake is a familiar, but we're breaking all the rules of a familiar, and he has a mind of his own. So If that's what you're wondering, why does this familiar
He's
keep doing things on his own? He's a special familiar. All right, so you leave and you regroup with the others.
Yes.
All right, you all get back together. Mickey is just finishing up her last drawing. Everyone's returned to the same place. What would you like to do?
Is anyone
there
on
we
the
go.
dragon?
Roll perception.
11.
11. No, no one's on the dragon.
Good.
I love how dad-like that was. I'm expecting you to misbehave. Oh, you didn't misbehave? Good.
So how much did you make, Mickey?
Like 50 gold, not much.
Insight check.
Insight check.
I rolled so bad again.
Oh no!
I roll with
Gonna be one of those
advantage,
nights
and I've
for
not
you.
rolled above a 6 for insight.
I got a 15.
I got a 12.
I think she's lying.
Sorry, I rolled a 24. I made like 50 gold.
50 gold's pretty good.
Not
You guys
bad.
all want to cut? I mean, we can split it evenly.
Wait, hold on.
You
You just
did the
mentioned
work.
cut. That sounds
I mean-
fantastic.
That's real generous of you, given it's your work.
Yeah,
You
you
did
worked.
the work.
You did the work. You keep it. It's not like we
Yeah.
fought anything. We didn't loot some dragon horde. You keep
You know what? You saw an opening in the market and grasped it with 2 hands. It's what they teach us at school.
Mm-hmm.
Innovative. It's all yours.
I mean, technically speaking, I was the one who said she would paint pictures.
Yeah, here, Faye. You're
I don't-
right.
I'm fine. I don't want any money.
School.
Well, I don't really know what to do, to be honest.
We should
Well, first order of business is, well, didn't you guys have a whole conversation with Rylaendur about the whole
Yeah,
situation?
where were you? You slipped off.
Oh shit,
I
called
was
out.
starving. No, seriously, you guys, I was seriously starving, and I got some cookies. You guys want some? I
Yeah!
ate most of them, but I did grab a bunch.
Please.
Isn't it
I wanna-
closed?
Insight check. That.
Yeah,
Well-
hefty insight check.
Because I feel
It's
like
closed
she would have just
now.
told us if she was hungry.
Why is everyone lying?
Oh no, it was closed. It's closed now, but not anymore.
21.
I rolled a 2. I don't know anything.
I'm
Yeah,
not
there's-
rolling it.
Hush, roll deception.
Please roll high. Please roll high. Please roll high. He definitely beat me. 18.
Yeah, there is there are no businesses open in Rylai right now.
Where are you, Hush?
Those places. That's all you need to know.
Come on. You snuck off.
You want the
through a
cookie or
wall.
not?
Well, okay. By that standpoint, Ryan, you want to tell us what that dragon said when he was talking to you?
I
told
mean,
you.
I'll take his cookie if he doesn't want it.
I mean, also, yeah, give it to Mickey. She did well. I told you what he said. He's someone who's important to him is missing. We need to find him. This brash guy seems like he's
Insight.
important.
Insight. Give me that deception check, loser.
Man, this turned into that meme of The Office where they're all like holding finger guns at each other. This is what this turned into.
13 for insight.
I mean, I wasn't lying.
Withholding information is still fucking lying.
I wasn't lying, was I?
He specifically said the things that were true. He just left out.
Oh boy.